He was the tube station man. He was in the tube station.
So let's talk. Let's go back a little bit. Are you doing okay? Are you getting
fine.
tired? Okay. Now your husband Brock.
Uh-huh.
I assume when you all lived in Merrifield, when you moved in Merrifield in the 40s, he's working at the Pentagon.
Mm-hmm.
So what was his occupation at the Pentagon?
Well, he was on the tube station there in the Pentagon.
And what's the tube station?
But I don't know, it's where they send those documents through the tube
Oh,
to different places.
okay.
See, I remember when the Pentagon was first built. It wasn't there when I started working.
So what was at the Pentagon before they started building it?
It was a community.
It was the black community, correct?
Black community.
And then those people were displaced and they built the Pentagon?
Right.
And so your husband started working at the Pentagon. Was he, you had said earlier he was one of the first blacks to work there at the Pentagon, or he was?
Well, he was one of the first. He was the first one on the tube station.
Okay.
That sent, you could see him putting the documents in something and it would go up that tube to wherever it's supposed to go,
So with this occupation, was this during World War II?
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about World War II. You were living in Merrifield during World War II, right?
You were a child.
Yeah, part of the time, yes.
Okay. So what happened like with blackouts and rations and things like that? Do you remember any of those?
Mm-hmm.
What was it like going through World War II?
Well, to me, it didn't register on us that much, Most of the guys went overseas. I mean, the fighting wasn't on our side here, so we didn't get much of it, other than feedback from the soldiers and what happened to them, because they weren't fighting on this end.
Did any of your relatives go off to fight?
Oh, well, yeah, my nephew went off, but I don't know much about his activity in the service.
Did you ever feel a little resentment maybe? The African American men are going off to fight and they really are considered second class citizens. Did you ever think about that?
No, I didn't have time to.
You were too busy being a good mom.
I was trying to make ends meet with my family where I was, hoping that it wouldn't get so bad that I couldn't feed them, You're more or less worried about how will we survive, if things don't turn out the way it should,
Mm-hmm. Did the church ever have to help you at all with things?
No.
Okay.
No.
Did your husband ever say anything about what it was like working at the Pentagon during the war?
No, he had no problems. I had no complaints with him.
Okay.
No.
So, do you ever remember any of the whites in Merrifield helping the church, like with the new building or?
No, I don't know. I don't really know, because if they did, they didn't mention. I didn't get the information.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What about the pastors after Graham?
What about the pastors after Reverend Graham? Do you remember them?
Well, they came, and then they left. I don't know any particulars about why they left. I know that they left and got another church. So,
Mm-hmm.
so.
Who were they?
Hmm?
Who were they?
I think it was Reverend Kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And who else was it? I think it was Reverend Kitchen. After Reverend Graham?
Yes, Reverend Kitchen.
Yeah, that was Reverend Kitchen.
Yeah, that's it.
What are your fondest memories of First Baptist Church of Merrifield, the old church?
Oh, my fondest memories of my choir, singing in my choir, in senior choir, and my Sunday school. That's the main. I guess my little course too. The children. I dealt with the young people in the church. That's what I mainly centered my attention on.
Did you ever have to talk to them about segregation or?
No, it never came up.
Okay.
So I didn't go into it because nothing had been settled to do anything. Of course, we all knew about Martin Luther King and what have you, but it wasn't talked too much about,
Mm-hmm.
other than when we get information from the NAACP or something like that. We more or less listened to what was coming in through them.
And do you remember who them were, the NAACP?
No, I didn't get too deep into
Okay.
the people who were there.
What do you
Okay.
think about Maryfield today and the future?
What do you think about how Maryfield Church is today in the future?
Well, I think they're moving. I was thinking they could move a little faster, but that's up to them. I don't know the details.
Yeah. What do you think about Maryfield, the community? Because now we have this huge town center and the church is just kind of swallowed up.
Yes.
How's that make you feel?
Well, I feel it could be a big thing if everything was like it should be. You know, if they could just get things moving like they want to get it moving. I was hoping it would contribute to the community. You know, where there would be room enough for anybody that wanted to come in.
Mm-hmm.
I think they kind of, because I went to the town meetings, and they're really in favor, like, you know, of us being there. So, I don't know. I don't know what. I think it could be good. I tried to think that any institution, Christian institution, would be better in a community because there are a lot of people there, and the houses and the townhouses and whatever across the street. There's so many of them in there, but I just feel that we need to. I feel that the thing that we need to do now is get ourselves together so we can make it so that they want to come in there. You know?
Are there any last thoughts you have about your childhood in Green Valley and when you were growing up?
Well, no. Only thing that I know is that, but up until I moved away from there, everything was just like a regular childhood. You know, I had no big problems because we just, as I said, we were used to not mixing with the whites, so we just made ourselves comfortable, and so I had no problems when I left there and went to Maryfield. I didn't look back.
Did you have problems buying land in Maryfield?
Well, it didn't seem so. My husband seemed to find that land, and I don't know how he did it, but we didn't have any problem because it was just a little country town. So it wasn't like it is today. It wasn't like it is today. At that time, Gallows Road was just a one way each way. You had no highways and byways and lanes like we have now. So it was just, to me, it was just as much country as Arlington was or more.
Mm-hmm. Did you build your house from the ground up?
Yeah, well, we built our house, but we built it for a garage because we had intended to put another one out front. So we left the front for the bigger house, and then when the what you call it, the highway came through there, 495. When that came through, then they took everybody's house that was on that, and left one there. I think the fire department bought that, and they never did get rid of it until later on. And I guess years, like 4 or 5 years after that, then they decided that the road was coming through, so they wanted to get rid of that house. And we bought it and had it moved. And we had that house moved, and we lived there until we sold that when it came here.
And when did you come to this house?
About 2 years ago.
So from 1943 until, say, 2012.
Yeah, 2011,
1949. 1949 until 2012, you were in the Maryfield area.
In 2011, because we sold it in 2011.
Okay, all right.
So we came here.
What are your fondest, do you have memories of the meetings they would have on New Year's Eve, the watch meetings?
Oh, yes.
Tell us about watch meetings. Can you tell us why you would have watch meetings and what you did?
Watch meeting was, I guess it was like, but that's like New Year's Eve, isn't it? Bringing the New Year in. Oh, yes, it was always. We ever tried to get there. A lot of times I couldn't get there, but my heart was there. And when I did go, it was just good because you prayed the year in, and you ask the Lord to help us through through things that we know, even though segregation may pass, we know it's still here. I think it's still here, so we just need to ask, get a little bit closer together. But it was good to have the watch meetings because that made us have hope for the next year, that it would be a blessed year rather than
So when did they ring the bell in the old church?
Well, they used to do it when I first came there, and then they stopped. I don't know whether something happened to it. But when the old church left, they brought the bell and put it on the outside of, we put on the church we in now. So instead of putting it up on the church, they put it out on that brick rostrum,
So when
I
you
like
got
it.
to the new church, did you have your own classroom for Sunday school?
Yes, we did, but now they have a school down there. They mix the school up, a daycare center. So it's kind of hard now. We have the classrooms down there, but it still has to be shared with the school.
But before, talk to us about what Sunday school was like in the new church.
In the new church?
Before the daycare
we
center.
had 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 5 classrooms down there, and then we had, and each teacher had their room, And then after the school came, then we rented a building across the street for a while, but we're back in there now. So I don't know what's going on now. I guess it's been 2 or 3 superintendents there since I have. I haven't even been able to get downstairs. So, but they seem to be operating. So,
Now, do you remember Jenny Ransel?
oh, definitely, yes.
Can you talk to us a little bit about Jenny
I
Ransel?
only knew she was Mrs. Terry's mother. Isn't that right?
Yes, Edith Terry. Uh-huh.
She's Miss Terry's mother, but before that, I don't know anything of her future, her life before.
Mm-hmm. What about Reverend Terry? What about him? Wasn't he an associate pastor
Yes, he was associate pastor.
at the old church?
Yeah.
Talk to